Anti-racism refers to the ongoing practice of recognizing and challenging one's own racist thoughts, understanding where those racist ideas come from, and actively identifying and combating racist systems, policies, and attitudes through action. Anti-racist education is about learning and acknowledging that racist beliefs and structures are pervasive in our lives and actively working to change those structures. There are a lot of misconceptions out there about what anti-racism really is. Let's go through a few. Anti-racism is the same as inclusion and diversity. Not quite. Having a diverse classroom does not mean that you're practicing anti-racism. How are you taking action to combat systems of advantage and disadvantage in society? How are you supporting those students that are diverse in your classroom? Anti-racism is about calling people out. Not quite. Anti-racism is actually about calling people in. It's about calling people in and building capacity and understanding amongst one another. It's really important that we address the action and not focus on the individual when something racist is said. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, or blue, everyone is the same to me. Colorblindness does not address racism. Colorblindness is harmful because it pretends that society treats everyone equally regardless of their race. We know that's not the case. Multiculturalism in the classroom is practicing anti-racism. You might also be saying, well, I teach so much about different cultures in the classroom already. My classroom's super diverse. There's a difference between multiculturalism and anti-racism. Multiculturalism takes a more surface-level look at cultural diversity by examining social norms like food, dress, and customs. It does not address racism and oppression. So what does anti-racism have to do with the teaching profession? As educators, we have the power to shape the way students view the world and to create inclusive, equitable learning environments. But to do that, we need to be aware of our own biases and educate ourselves about how racism shows up in our lives and in the world around us. Teachers have a professional responsibility to actualize and adhere to the STF Professional Ethics and Standards of Practice, legislation, and STF policy. Teachers have a responsibility to share and acknowledge diverse stories and perspectives and create an inclusive learning environment for all students and their colleagues. To learn about and practice anti-racism as an educator is to cultivate one's own personal growth and, by extension, one's own professional practice. Teachers are lifelong learners. So you might be wondering, well, how do I even start? Well, you start with awareness. Acknowledge your biases and internalized racism. Your biases influence how you see and interact with the world. Take the time to look within and ask yourself, why is it that you think that way? Try and dig deep. Think about how you categorize people and how that influences the way in which you interact with them. Then educate yourself. Find resources surrounding issues pertaining to racism, white supremacy, white privilege, intersectionality. There's plenty out there. Use Google. Check out what books are trending surrounding these topics. Ask around. Read. Whenever possible, choose books written by racialized individuals to read from. Listen to what racialized individuals are telling you. Do not deny their experiences or make excuses. Don't ask them to share unless they offer. Just listen. The Federation has professional development opportunities for teachers in the area of anti-racism. Check out our STF events calendar and register for our Beginning Your Anti-Racist Journey PD that is currently being offered by STF Professional Learning. Don't forget to continually reflect. You've taken the time to learn and listen to the voices of the oppressed. Now what? Work through your own biases. Acknowledge your own privileges. Think about things like race, class, gender, ability, sexuality, etc. What can you do differently? And most importantly, take action. Take what you've learned and implement it into your daily life. Speak up when you see an injustice. Use what you've learned to educate and inform others and direct them to other resources. Don't forget to try and meet people where they're at. You can't force people on this journey, but you can take it yourself. Anti-racism is about action. Allyship is a verb. You need to actively combat the racism that is inherent in all of society's systems.